Hi guys, welcome back to Fata Morgana. Today's going to be a pretty unusual episode because we're going to be looking at all of the Chapter 7 choices. I've heard that there are things called dead ends that exist that I want to explore, and also in that last really powerful scene where Gazelle completely saves Michelle and obviously makes it so that he doesn't give in to Morgana and just reminds him of how great a person he is. That scene, there is a choice that's timed, and if you hesitate to make that choice, then obviously you get onto the good ending. If you don't, then there is a special ending, which I'm also quite interested in looking into. So we've got quite a lot to do today. A lot to do. Dude, it's fucking 3 endings. Anyway, yeah. Yeah, this is the memory, okay. Oh, so we've got to skip through the choices. Actually, I'll just see if I have this on my... Yeah, do you know what? Actually... No. So we can just go straight from here. That's nice. I have this saved. Right, let's just firstly get a bit of context. Oh my god, yeah, the man in the painting was so odd. Do you know, we still... Who was the man... The man in the painting? Could that have been Georges? Wait, let's try and reinterpret what he could say. Let's see if we can find any meaning. That is, if that's possible. Oh my god, this is so weird. Everything is totally distorted. God. Yeah, God, that's so weird. No one is on the witch's side, that's the thing. God. No. Hang on a second. Isn't that interesting? Because when we first talked to the man in the painting, he said he wanted to apologise. That would fit with Michelle. Georges, if you ask me. Jesus Christ. Yeah. I find it really interesting in Chapter 1, Mel's dream, because that really shows a direct link between the characters, which I think is a nice detail. And it's surprising as well. Yeah, true. I mean, Mel was so fucking weird. He made Michelle put his arm out in that bush full of spikes and nettles and thorns that was metal as well. Yeah, because why would anything in this story be normal? Yeah, but like still, you did that when you could have just said, oh, I have the key. It's just ridiculous. That's interesting. Yeah, that does kind of make sense. But the only thing that I find really surprising is the fact that Morgana thinks that the Lord has done worse sins than the person who's substituting for Yukimasa. That's interesting. But I suppose, firstly, it's capitalism. Secondly, it's dishonesty in the church. And, yes, we'll have a church dedicated to the goodwill of humanity, but the church that is also profiting off of basically every human rights being abused. I.e. from Morgana. Yeah, very, very equal. Sure thing. Oh my god, that was sick. But is he really worse than a mass murderer who kills just because he feels like it? I mean, obviously to Morgana it is, but I'd debate that. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah. Interesting. So are we going to visit Georges again? True. This has been a common theme. Yeah. God, this soundtrack is so good. It really gives me a Halloween-like vibe. So let's just completely disrespect the order and see what happens. I'm kind of scared to do this. Right, what would be more interesting? I think it's either the den or the cellar. Well, we're gonna go to both in the end. Let's go to the cellar first. Oh god, I had to pick the more scary location. Fuck's sake. Oh god, it's just that it's darker. I bet you we're gonna get jump scared. Yeah, it probably will be now. Yeah. Yeah. Is Gazelle going to show up? Oh my god! God, I completely forgot that was there. Oh my god, I'm not used to these speakers, man. God. Holy shit, does Michelle actually die in this? That's interesting. So he actually dies if he does this instantly. What? This is what happens when you don't listen to the choices, it seems. You died. I don't get why the killer is so kind as to let Michelle have last words. No way, it's a Toho 8 reference. Yeah, God, it is so vivid to think how easily this can end. I suppose that goes with everything in life. You have choices, but if you make other choices, better ones, then better outcomes could have happened. Or maybe worse outcomes could have happened in the long term. Who knows? God, what now? Creepy black screen? Hi! Who the fuck are you? What? Hang on a second, so is this going to be the choices where we can talk to Gazelle. And then is Michelle just going to go into this constant cycle? Yeah, fair enough. He totally zoned out. So he's just casually died trying to get Gazelle back, and now we're just having casual conversation. Yeah, so I think this is just the same as... Oh! It's definitely not the same. Okay then. Interesting. Wrong assumption. Yeah, fair enough. They just talk. They just do what friends do. But obviously with a bit more depth. And a bit more... I suppose they know each other more. And unique things that friends probably don't do together. Like, for example... Oh, wait, sorry. This video is not NSFW content. I cannot say that. Probably, yeah. That's interesting how Michelle kind of instinctively thinks that maybe it's because of his gender... Well, his gender being a bit ambiguous, that could be the reason as to what has gone on. It's interesting that he thinks that. No idea what it is Gazelle wants. Yeah, fair enough, yeah. Hands. Yeah, fair enough. Awkward, silent nothingness. Yeah, fair enough. Just grip her hand. Well, not grip her hand. Don't give her pain, but like, just hold it. Grip it, but lightly. Yeah, God, I feel bad for Michelle. He doesn't have a romantic bone in his body. I mean, let's be honest, he has kindness, which people with romantic bones in their body sometimes lack. So, yeah, that's better than anything romance-related. Oh god. Yeah, that is probably the worst retort you could have come up with, let's be honest here. What? Oh my god! What happened? What? Ending 0? Oh, that's so weird. That was not what I was expecting at all. That's interesting. That was really not what I was expecting. So, what was that? So we have lots of time after all. It's as if there is nothing. Oh yeah, ending list. Do we get a new ending? We don't. That's a shame. But anyway, yeah. So my assumption is that that is Morgana posing as Gazelle, probably. I don't know. It's just we have so much time for everything to be able to happen. And I suppose the love's a bit awkward, sure, it could work out. But then you just see blood being stained over everything, and you see more. Well, you see Michel not being able to get Gazelle back because all of his. It's as if all of his memories of Gazelle were kind of being overpowered because. Wait, let's just check. Where was I going to go? Oh yeah. Let's just see exactly how different this is. Oh, that's interesting. So here, this successfully happens, and they do things couples would do more, which is a bit odd. I just really do wonder what that was. But I think it's kind of like, firstly, Morgana just... I don't really know what it's meant to represent. I think it represents in the future that Gazelle is probably just going to be painted over by Morgana's power. And I suppose it also represents, because of the fact that we didn't follow the particular order that Morgana wanted, we've not been able to... well, I suppose we've not been able to properly understand her and her story. So as a result of that, she's taken Gazelle, and we've not even had a chance. And it's just interesting, I suppose. This was really like a test from Morgana just to see our potential, and I suppose here we don't deliver said potential whatsoever. I mean, it is a bit weird. We've just chosen one wrong door. But I suppose, yeah, that's all it takes, really. But it doesn't surprise me. I mean, people like Morgana, they are very, very odd. Right. Wait, did I... Have I done this really crappily? Yes, I have. Ah, yes, the sky is pink. Gotta love it. Right. Right, yeah, so now... Oh, God, we're gonna have to do this every single time if I forget to save. Let's call Gazelle 30, that's a good idea. God, this really was cool. And I love this atmosphere, seriously. Oh my fucking God, I saved it there. What am I even thinking? Right, so we went to the cellar last time, now we'll go to the den. Right, here we go, we're jumping into the deep end. Here we go. Everything's that little bit more scary because of the fact that we are going into the place that we should not be going into. We're really intruding here. We're not going where we should. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's Gazelle. Are we going to maybe be crushed by the fact that Gazelle is all bloody? Yeah, you can just see. You really, really can see, even before Michel goes on his journey to find Morgana and obviously learn about her and get Gazelle back, there's still this inseparable love that he feels for her. What? Oh my god. Yeah! She's not so okay! Oh, it's this theme. Interesting. Yeah, it's suitable. Completely dead. Just a decoy. Yeah. Yeah, and it's as if she's totally dead. Michel falls so instinctively for Gazelle that he doesn't realise that Gazelle is now the maid. This is not real, but of course he would not doubt it whatsoever. Of course he wouldn't. Yeah. So I think, by the way, in the first choice we did, I think Michel inadvertently spends time with Morgana, and Morgana is Gazelle, I think. That could be likely. I don't know. Yeah, fair enough. God. Oh my god! So Gazelle was gone, obviously indicating just how much of an illusion this all is. But everything's covered in blood now. Gunpowder, what? Oh my god. God. How weird. So what now? Are we going to go back to Gazelle? Or what? Oh! Okay, not what I was expecting. What? Huh? Oh, this is weird. So I'd assume there's been some sort of well, I don't know actually. Hang on a second. Yeah, so I'd assume there is some sort of explosion that's happened. What an instant death. And my god, look at the cruelty of Michel's death. Here, just experienced in the arms of his dead lover. Morgana doing her worst. Oh, God. Yeah, God, you can properly see the depth of his sin and why he is such a bad person. Michelle just casually intrudes into the room. Well, to be fair, let's be honest, Morgana's torment is driving these souls mad, so it does kind of make sense that they would have a lack of respect. Even if they were good people, maybe they would be driven to madness. And isn't it interesting where Morgana can just laugh and look down and scorn this person after the countless amount of, well, the really, really significant amounts of grief that this person's given her. But isn't it interesting that Gazelle was actually alive? I'm surprised about that. So Gazelle was alive in the actual ending, the good, where we do the correct choices, which is odd. Yeah. I find it odd that Gazelle was alive. I think what's actually going on is Gazelle is not here, it's her soul. And Morgana's soul, they're kind of communicating like that rather than in physical human form, which is a bit weird of a concept, but I don't know, maybe that would explain this. I kind of remember when Michel dies, for example, and his soul kind of wanders and watches his body, and he feels all of the pain that he'd feel as if he were alive. Kind of reminds me of that. Yeah, God. And it really does remind me of the ending of chapter 4 in a way. Hang on a second, let me just recap. Wait, no, hang on a second, I got a bit confused. Never mind. Yeah, that's not going to work. I know, that's the most cruel thing. That's what happens when Michelle makes an incorrect decision. Yeah. So that's interesting. So I suppose that happened in the other one as well. But... Oh God, his mind was, I suppose. Yeah. Yeah. How brutal. I did it. Oh, you bastard. Well, to be fair, I do kind of see that in a way. If Michelle makes the wrong decision, then it's his fault. If he makes the right one, he does actually survive. And I agree, I don't think Morgana ever intended to kill Michelle. Well, she doesn't exactly sound guilty of it. Or she doesn't sound sad. She's going to try and convert Gazelle to her side now. Oh my God. The one responsible is, ironically, the person that Morgana hates so much. God. Isn't that interesting? It's not just one person, it's everybody connected. Yeah. Interesting. I don't know if we've actually seen an ending where Gazelle and Morgana are united. No, I don't think so. We've only seen endings where Michelle and the white-haired girl are united. Isn't it interesting that Gazelle doesn't have the strength that Michelle does? But it makes sense considering the amount of grief that's happening. But still, I think the reason Michelle had so much strength was because of how many years he spent trying to refute Morgana. So obviously when he was in his biggest phase of grief, he wasn't controlled. Interesting. But it shows properly just how much Michelle loves... Sorry, well, yeah, obviously how much Michelle loves Gazelle. I meant to say the other way around, though. I always got the impression in Chapter 6 that Morgana was trying to separate Gazelle from feeling any attachment to Michelle. And this is what she was hoping would happen in the end. God. Oh my god, is that a dead end? You're still doing it. That's interesting how dependent Gazelle is on Michelle to be able to choose the right path and to be able to choose a path that would enable Michelle to meet her. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, and it's just all gone absolutely nowhere. Yeah, you don't have it anymore. It's totally broken off. Fair. God, what an ending. Or at least I'm assuming it's ended. Yeah, that's a dead end. Yet again, covered in blood, with a very, very nightmarish picture that reminds me of Morgana's story. That was interesting. I like that. So I'm assuming it's just going to be the same. Now what we need to do is... firstly, I want to just kind of remind myself what does actually happen in the third... Oh god, I'm so used to right-clicking for the save menu. I can't remember what actually happens if we have the right choice. Because obviously, yeah, we see dead Gazelle. But the only thing is then... So he shoots us without us noticing. Yeah, that's interesting. And I suppose beforehand, he's so consumed with the love that he doesn't even notice that key thing. Yeah. Oh wait, oh right, so Gazelle was an illusion, okay. Isn't that interesting? His fear for Morgana. Morgana must love that. That's ironic with Jacopo there. I think Jacopo is actually going to try and get revenge. She has to die or something like that. But the only thing is, obviously, Morgana just thinks you are full of shit, and I don't know, just makes him casually just disappear. Because, yes, why not? That's cool. Right, so now we'll want to go down to the den, see if anything changes. I don't think anything will. So we have Gazelle, and then we have Morgana. Yeah, it's exactly the same. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that was quite interesting, seeing just how Gazelle really relies on Michelle, and it's interesting that their love is not nearly strong enough. And I mean, let's be honest, Gazelle, it needs to be such a mutual strong love because they have such a brutal enemy. They need to make all of the right decisions because, as we can see here, if we make the wrong decisions, everything is over. Genuinely. That's the weirdest thing about all of this. And that's the coolest thing as well. Right, we're going to let go. Sorry, Gazelle. But we are never, ever going to be able to be comforted by Gazelle. And we're going to get the last bad ending. No, she hasn't. Not true whatsoever. But the only thing is, like before, we make a bad choice. And that's what causes our downfall. Yeah, but it's interesting that Morgana kind of submits to the fact that Michelle maybe isn't as similar, and then she just tries it on in the end and it works. Yeah. I wonder. This is going to be interesting. Really. I'll believe it when I see it. If this is true, it's interesting just that level of appreciation Morgana has. And I think no matter how much Morgana does to Michelle, you can still tell that she appreciates Michelle for the recognition that nobody else was able to give her. God, what's going to happen now? Michelle's probably going to be a man. I love just having no idea of what's going to come next. We're here. Interesting. But Michelle was the white-haired girl last time we came here. Which was when... which choice was that? I think... No, that was when we completely refused Gazelle, ironically. And we refused... to reach out to her. Oh my god. No, you're not telling me that Michelle and the white-haired girl are gonna become lovers. Oh my god. And that would be really, really interesting if that's the case, because that would just be so much proof to Gazelle's thoughts of the fact that Michelle and the white-haired girl, even though they share the same soul, they really aren't the same person. This is going to be interesting. God, Gazelle is meant to be saying that. He seems very selfless. It seems like he still has the kindness. Never seen this place before, actually. Oh, right. Damn. What the fuck? Where did I... What the fuck? Oh my god. Oh, that's scary. So I'm not clicking on... Oh my god. Why the fucking sponsored search results, man? They piss me off so much. I can't believe they can actually get away with doing that. So I click a link that's not even the sponsored search result, and yet the sponsored search result and where I'm going to clicks up. That's fucked. Okay, anyway. Alright, okay. I don't really know much about the Czech Republic. That's quite cool. So, damn. This does look really weird. This photo actually kind of reminds me of Morgana, Fata Morgana. The mansion. It's kind of got resemblance. That's cool. I've never been to the Czech Republic. Oh yeah, so it's a park in the capital. That's really cool. This looks like a really quite nice place. You can tell it's European. I do wonder what the Czech Republic must be like. I feel like if you want to go to places of natural beauty, always look into any UNESCO sites. To be fair, a lot of UNESCO sites are places like Liverpool, for example. It's a UNESCO site because of its history, rather than... I suppose it's got the sea with its docks and everything, but yeah. Well, the River Mersey as well. But yeah, no, not much natural beauty, more urban environments. God. Yep, these people have clearly done well in life. I just think it's so ironic that Michelle and the white-haired girl fall in love. I mean, what more of a gut punch to Gazelle? Especially after Michelle has done so much to try and get to Gazelle again. He lets it all go at the temptation of Morgana. They were still happy. Yeah. Yeah, of course you would. Oh yeah, totally. Fair enough. Oh damn. That's interesting. You can just see how he instinctively has regret. And let's be honest, this is probably a really weird occurrence. This is probably the only time he has felt something like this. It's just interesting that it's happened and yet he can still kind of feel the scars from it. Sure thing. Oh my god, is that really going to be how all of this has disregarded us? That's interesting. Her name's Gazelle, you're... Oh my god, that's interesting. That's hilarious. They have a cat. Oh well, Michelle lives, he's not run over. It's a really interesting ending. Yeah, that door will never be opened. Never let go. Because if you do, this is what happens. Right, I didn't expect to be able to say this today, but fuck it, we're opening the 8th door. Right. I'll do this in a second, just have a little break. God, I've just been listening to this music while I've been having a little break, and holy shit, it sounds good. I forgot that I hadn't listened to it before, so yeah, I spoiled the surprise a bit, but fuck, it's good. It really, really is good. Oh yeah, this is so sweet. Yeah, Gazelle fading into nothing, and then the other person you need to let free. Here we go. God, this sounds so intense. I love it. And also the harmonic vocals, they remind me of another track. That track where Gazelle sees light for the first time in 500 years. The one that plays there, and also the one that plays at the death of Michelle in chapter 6. Isn't that interesting? Yeah, she saw what happened in that last ending that we read being the end. Dude, don't say the word domain, please. If you do A-level maths, then you'll get what I mean. It's fucking range and domain, man. Anyway, I'll shut up now. Domains are inputs into a function. I will shut up. Yeah, fair enough. And Michelle's will is more strong than yours. You can never do anything to separate her from Gazelle. Her? No, I did not mean that. I meant him. Yeah, fair enough. A power that you could never know. But it is interesting which one wins, hatred or love, because they can equally be as strong as each other. But obviously, love is more strong than hate in this scenario. Well, no miracle happened whatsoever. Isn't it interesting how Morgana would always want to use Gazelle, and yet look at how little respect she has for her? I really do wonder what this other reason that Michelle was thinking of is. Fair enough, but that is reasonable considering the amount of pain that Morgana's story had. Really? But the only thing is, what is in this door? I really do wonder. Yeah, he's going to overpower Morgana. Because let's be honest, Morgana has... When did Morgana actually start getting significant? I suppose she started getting significant when Gazelle and Michelle discovered each other. When she knew that there was a possibility of having both of them taken away from her, I suppose. Because she wants somebody to put her constant force of hatred onto. Yeah, fair enough. And to stop letting Morgana take the flow of, control the flow of Michelle and Gazelle's love. Is it the 8th door? That's Gazelle's, I'd assume. It's as if they are opening it together. Oh, that's not what I was expecting. How unusual. Oh my god, look at this background. This is so weird. God, definitely not something I was expecting. What is this? Really? Who is it? Oh my god! Oh, it's Morgana, isn't it? Look at her face. Wow! Oh, this is gonna be cool. Dude, she was killed when she was 17. I'm older than her when she fucking died. I mean, just put that into perspective right there. I mean, I'm only 18. I've been 18 for 3 months now, but like, still, it's insane. Yeah, she really was. Yeah. Yeah, no, totally. Yeah, and I suppose the fact that she was a child as well, and she was very, very young when it all happened, that just further justifies why. I mean, you're going to be so young and you've had such an awful life. Why would you ever be able to control your emotions after you died? But it is just sick just seeing how young she is, I get that. But look at her hands though, and look at the lack of form they have as well. This just looks like, I don't know, somebody got a human arm and then used the fucking smudge tool in Photoshop just to stretch it. Like, seriously, it doesn't look like an arm at all. True. Yeah, I totally agree. All her role ever was just to be used by others, let's be honest here. Yeah, you can just see proper kindness there, and isn't that interesting? That really aligns with Michelle's character. It really does. Why does she have a bony hand like that? What? Wait, hang on a second. Is that her left arm? Maybe it's as if the left arm has grown back, but it's kind of not very human, more skeleton-like. God, she really... I can get what Morgana is saying when saying that she might look like a monster, though. I mean, it's horrible that I do understand that, but I do. I'm sorry, I just do. She does look very, very scary, but she is scary as a result of the filth of other people. Yeah, exactly. Giselle's back now, and you could die. So what is the point? Yeah. God, look at her smile. Holy shit. This is like, if you've watched the Higurashi anime, whenever somebody goes insane and their mouth is just like half the size of their half the height of their face. Yeah, that's interesting. So, yeah, there's just a question of why is he here? And that's interesting as well, to think about the fact that Morgana's soul might have actually died and shattered here. It doesn't surprise me, considering how long this horrible, horrible witch has made it so that Gazelle has been able to live for more time. That's just interesting that that was departure. I mean, I suppose she's broken free of the mansion and can die in peace, but it's just so surprising that this all ends in death. So I suppose Gazelle's been taken back and she's not under Morgana's spell anymore. So what was the point of any of this? That's my question. I hope we find out. We'll probably find out at the end of the chapter. Okay then. So I suppose while the soul has dissipated, it has been kind of like something that has attached onto Michelle spiritually. Weird. Yeah, but it's because Michelle wants to free Morgana, but it does kind of make sense. I mean, you see the reaction that Michelle always has to Morgana and how it's so different to everybody else, and Michelle really is just kind, unlike anybody else. Morgana's outfit is so cool, by the way. Can I just mention, I love the crimson, and she's got really long hair as well. That butterfly's nice as well. I love this. Looks so weird. Really? You really think somebody like Michelle would do that? It could, but you really think somebody like Michelle is going to stoop to a level that low? I'll see it when I believe it. God, look at her hand. It's so weird. Oh my God. Isn't it interesting how much Morgana doesn't value life and how much she tempts fate? She really, really is reckless in just determining what somebody else is doing. I mean, you could die like this, and yet you were still trying it on. It's insane. It is insane. It's just unbelievable how reckless she is. Oh God. This is referring to Didier and Michelle, I think. Oh my God, you're really using that against him. God, I just love imagining how fucking demented Morgana must be. I mean, Jesus Christ, look at how unpleasant she looks, and she doesn't even feel comfortable to show herself, to show her eyes. And also, I suppose you could think that all of her body is covered up so that she doesn't have to see any of it. And ironically, the body that is here is not even human. I mean, Jesus Christ, what the fuck is this? It looks so cool. It's a skeleton hand, but Yeah. Maybe that's some sort of magical regrowth that could have happened. Just totally made out of hatred and making it easy for Michelle to fall down the same path. Yeah, that shut her up. It's always Morgana trying to reach out with Michelle. I've always got that impression. Yeah, that was kind of what I was thinking. Yeah, so they always have had something in common, and I always think that Morgana trying to get Michelle to curse is kind of like Morgana trying to get Michelle to experience things on the same level and the same perspective that she is experiencing things on, so that she can actually have somebody to relate to. Fair. But the only thing is, I mean, are you really happy? Are you? Maybe hear him out and maybe you could benefit? Who knows? God. This is going to be like convincing a brick wall, let's be honest. Really? That's really interesting. But to be fair, I do get what Michelle was saying. Important elements, like for example, the love between Gazelle, I'm so used to saying that, between Morgana and the guy that looked like Mel, that was just implied. I suppose a lot of the feelings of betrayal, yeah, and I suppose it was really quite short, a lot of the stuff we got with the healing of his sister as well. That is actually very true, yeah. True. Yeah, I really do wonder. True. It doesn't know, but... True. Yeah, what is the point? Yeah, that probably wouldn't be the best. But to be fair, that's what you think. You are making a judgment based on your perspective about what they will say. How do you know that that's actually the truth? That's just your instinct, surely? God. I mean, let's be honest, Morgana deserves it after what she did to Michelle. Just forcing the door open to his past. True. So we've got to make Morgana want to do it if we want her to be able to realise maybe a truth about her past. I don't know, because I don't really understand what Michelle was saying. Sure, you may want to understand the people who are doing this more, but it doesn't matter about their perspectives. Look at what they've done to Morgana and look at how they've changed her. I just don't get what Michelle's thinking here. I mean, sure, you haven't reached the truth until you understand their circumstances. I mean, that is a valid point. But you can't change what's happened to you. So I just really wonder how he's going to pull this off. Or if he's going to pull this off. Better point. Yeah. That's interesting. Oh, yeah, so I suppose. Yeah, I remember that. But obviously we had no clue who anybody standing there was, and it was very, very creepy. That's reasonable. No, the only thing is, surely this could mean that the world belongs to Morgana, but at the same time, Michelle and Gazelle have the power to influence it. Does it? Surely they have the power to influence it, which is an example. Here is an example of how that has happened. But does that necessarily mean that they have control over how this reality is playing out? Really? I'd find that hard to believe. Interesting. I love these bass frequencies. Holy shit, they sound so nice to listen to. Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. So I suppose Morgana has big influence, but we also have connections because we have connections with Morgana, because Morgana would have gone insane from loneliness and boredom if it wasn't for Gazelle. She probably wouldn't be here, and with it, if it wasn't for Michelle, she just wouldn't have been resurrected whatsoever. That's interesting. And obviously Gazelle's going to be on Michelle's side, so unfortunately Morgana is going to have a lot of explaining to do. Fair. Well, does it change? True. Fair. Totally fair. God, you just look at that anger that she faces. And the question is, does Michelle really have the right to undo the wish and hatred of somebody who has been so horribly affected? Is it really his place to do something like this? I genuinely ask that question. God, Michelle's not even letting Morgana be listened to when Morgana just totally proclaims her hatred. So I suppose Michelle is just going to make Morgana wait and see. It's interesting that while Morgana is laughing this idea off, kind of that it is ridiculous, I think she probably notices the conviction in Michelle's voice and is probably a little bit unnerved for what it will be. I just get that from the facial expression here. Like, somebody asks you a question and you're not just laughing enough saying, oh, what might that be? No, you're actually seriously asking. You have got to be kidding me. So, ooh, is the white-haired girl? I mean, the white-haired girl might be Mel's sister. Oh, you have got to be kidding me. They're actually gonna do this? The white-haired girl is... What the fuck? Wait, what? 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 What are you on? Oh, they're really gonna do... They're gonna change everything in this chapter, I bet you anything. But the only thing is, Gazelle is there are pieces of evidence that point against that theory, and Michelle is now blaming it on her. Like, what are you on? But what if your faith is wrong? Who is the white-haired girl if that's the case? Do you know what's ironic? It would make sense if the white-haired girl wasn't Michelle, and if it was yet another soul Morgana was persecuting. I meant to say torturing. Don't know why I said persecuting. To be fair, we don't actually know the colour of her eyes. So if this is more an appearance of the soul rather than a physical appearance, then maybe the story's entirely different. How? How do you know them? What? What are you on? Morgana's recklessness is going to be the facilitator of her decline, bet you anything. Morgana thinks it's so ridiculous to possibly prove that she's the white-haired girl. I think that's a ridiculous theory. I want Michelle to properly explain himself. Such a cool background. Interesting. You'll find it yourself, maybe. Yeah, you do. Yeah. That's gonna be cool. That's interesting. I really don't know what is going to happen here, but it's interesting. Does that say deep? Question marks. God. So this looks like the part where Morgana's in the tower. I don't know, I think we'll leave it there, but my God, that was really eventful. That was quite nice though. Honestly, it was all really, really surprising what happened, and yeah, it will be really cool just to see in general what is going to happen in that ending. And Michelle's got a very weird theory. It does kind of have some basis as to why the white-haired girl was not him, but at the same time, proving that it's Morgana is something that I never really expected him to do. So, yeah, my God, this is definitely Morgana's hand. You can tell just by how bloody it looks. Oh my God, I can't believe that the white-haired girl could be Morgana, though. I'm sure this story is probably going to be one that entirely changes on a reread just for things like this. But, yeah, I do wonder what they're going to do with this. I really do. I just hope they don't pull something so ridiculous that it's just really unrealistic. I've seen some visual novels do that, but let's be honest, this is Fata Morgana. It's not going to do something like that. But yeah, there were some cool things today, and also the choices. I think it was nice to see just the other ways this plot could go, and even that ending with Michelle and Gazelle. I mean, I suppose obviously Gazelle rather than Michelle. Quite ironic, but yeah. I think Door 8 is going to be... I'm sure they're going to do the finale well. I don't know how much time we have left, but until we've finished the visual novel, but we're definitely getting closer. 10 out of 16 achievements. So finish the second chapter. Oh, right, that says Child of a Devil. Okay. Interesting. Oh, okay, so... in the English version it says demon, but I always thought Akuma was devil, so yeah. Let's see what happens on the chapter list now. Yeah. Oh God, that's so cruel. I like that CG in a way. It just kind of shows how Michelle's always left out from being a man. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, and a normal human as well. Yeah, he was though. That's a sick thing. But yeah, I like that summary. I think that's really quite good. And yeah, and it is interesting how you can think that Michelle in the beginning of this chapter is at rock bottom. He is at the lowest possible point, but obviously he really gets above, and if anything he goes from the lowest to the best, but that's just because of Gazelle. Let's be honest here, that really is. And obviously it's because of defeating Morgana as well. God, they're really going to change this story, I think. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and yeah, I'll see you guys next time.